The Princess of Wales told emergency workers in Southport they supported people during their darkest time and admitted the experience had taken its toll. The Princess joined her husband, the Prince of Wales, in the town of Merseyside to meet the families of 3 girls killed in the knife attack in July, as well as those involved in the aftermath. The visit marked her first public engagement since completing cancer treatment and the couple's recovery, their first joint outing since Colour Squad in June. It was the first time the Princess had spoken publicly since she stepped back from the spotlight in January to undergo major abdominal surgery followed by chemotherapy. Hello there. Please don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell so you don't miss any news about the royal monarchy. The Prince and Princess spent 30 minutes each with the families of Baby King, 6, Elsie Dot Stancombe, 7, and Alice DaSilva Aguiar, 9, who were stabbed to death at a Taylor Swift-themed dance class at Heartspace Community Centre. On the 29th of July, the couple also met privately with dance teacher Leanne Lucas, 35, who was stabbed in the neck, back and arms as she fought to protect her class. They then walked to Southport Community Centre to meet emergency responders and mental health practitioners who provide long-term support to those affected. The Prince and Princess sat side by side on a park bench and asked those present how they were coping in the aftermath. From the attack, the Princess said emergency personnel, from the ambulance, fire and police services, provided support to the victims during their darkest time. In order to witness this, you need to support yourself, she said, adding that the experience must have an impact. When asked how the bereaved families are coping, the Princess replied, "They are fine. They are managing it differently. All families are very different. Individually as well, they are managing it and processing this tragic event in very different ways, but they are getting support from families and officers and things like that. I think being able to have opportunities to talk to different people in the community about experience and bring that together and share their experience is very helpful." She told first responders, "I cannot understate how grateful they all are for the support you provided that day. On their behalf, thank you." The Prince told the emergency workers they were heroes and true professionals. Phil Garrigan, Chief Fire Officer at Merseyside Fire and Rescue Service, revealed that the Princess was so affected by what she heard that she broke off the engagement to go inside and hug the crew, who described their anxiety and the toll this experience had taken. "Their mental health has been affected," he said. "I was able to see the emotions in them and saw that it was difficult for them to convey their feelings and express the extent of the impact of the events." The unannounced visit was initially described as a one-on-one public engagement for the Prince, but shortly before it began, it was confirmed that the Princess had decided to join him to show her support for the community. Kensington Palace said last September that after the end of her chemotherapy, the Princess would gradually return to a light program of public engagements, depending on how she feels. It is understood that both the Prince and Princess felt it important to visit Southport nearly 3 months after the attack to show the community that it had not been forgotten and that they would continue to offer their support. Just hours after the killings, the Prince and Princess shared a personal message of support for those affected. "As parents, we cannot begin to imagine what the families, friends and loved ones of those killed and injured in Southport are going through today," they said. Their Royal Foundation later made a donation to the National Police and Welfare Service to help accelerate psychological and physical support for emergency responders. To provide mental health support for emergency services became one of the main themes of the Prince's work following his spell as a pilot with East Anglia Air Ambulance between March 2015 and July 2017. During a visit to Wales Air Ambulance last month, he told the pilots and cabin crew, "I've made sure all the first responders after Southport get whatever help they need. It's important that you guys feel supported at the right moment."